Hello my friends and welcome back to Kev's Hobby Showcase. I'm of course Kevin. You may have also seen me on Tabletop Jones Productions where John and I are the two idiots playing board games. And today, well, it's the end of the month and I do have a cooking video for you today. But it's going to be a little bit of a different kind of one. So basically, just to, just to boil it down is, what do you do when you want to make a specific meal that requires the oven but the oven is no longer working? And that is basically the situation I am faced with. I don't have the means yet to either fix or replace said ovens, so I've got to adapt. So I'm going to make chicken cutlet parmesan on the stovetop, which I have done before. And actually I've also done it a number of times years ago on the barbecue grill, which I will do at a later date. So for today we're just going to concentrate on doing it on the stovetop. So yes, I'm going to be basically cooking the entire meal there. I'm going to be cooking my seasoned potatoes on the stovetop. I will, kind of give a little step-by-step on what I'm doing, and hopefully it all comes out good. I'm very confident that it will. So yeah, so basically that's what I'm doing today is, little bit of innovation to get a meal prepared. All right, so anyway, so I'm going to take a break. I'm going to get to the kitchen. I'm going to gather my supplies, and I'll see you there. Stay tuned. I'm in the kitchen and I've already gotten the potatoes ready to go. Let me just bring this down here, and there they are. So basically, instead of in a Pyrex, it's a decent sized skillet pan, and there's like enough potatoes in here that should be more than enough for me and both my kids. But also, it's probably comparable to one of the Pyrexes that I would normally use. So I just got to season it, and I will say that on occasion, when I was in a rush, when I'm cooking for the family, I would forget to season it, and it still comes out okay. It's still potatoes, but I always regretted it whenever it didn't. Whenever I forgot to do something like that. All right, here's all the seasoning. As always before, it's garlic powder, onion powder, and Italian seasoning. So let's get it on a medium light, and let's have it off the wall there. And we're going to cover it. So basically what I did was I put in just like a little bit of, here we go. Trying to reduce the glare from back there. All right, so basically what I did was is I put a little bit of oil in the pan. Started cutting the potatoes, started lining them all up, and as you just saw what I did with the seasoning and all that. So now, basically, at the same time as that's going on, I'm going to start preparing the chicken cutlets. So, got my double. There we go. My double burner skillet pan. I'm going to use this spray oil. Get as much of the surface as I possibly can. Let's hang on to that. I might need it again later. I did forget to get out one thing. And oh, I don't know where it is. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, sometimes when someone else does the dishes, they put things in places that I don't know where they are. Alright, so take this, gonna cut it in half. Gonna wash it up a bit. Always do that. And I'm hearing the pitter-patter of big feet. All right, so basically, put this up on the pan, same way as you would do as if you were putting it on a baking sheet, and then putting it in the oven. Okay, so gonna cut up a bit more. Now I don't have the burners on yet, because I want to get it all on there first before I do that. I mean, you don't have to do it the same way. I just happen to want to do that. All right. Now, like I said, I have also done chicken cutlet parmesan on the barbecue grill. Now, back then, honestly, I just did it to see if I could. All right. Alright, I keep shaking that because, you know, as you start using, you know, getting the breadcrumbs on here, you get little holes where you can see the bottom of the bottom of this thing. So shake it up a bit to get it more visible. Now, with the amount of chicken cutlets that I have, I am not going to be able to get them all on here. So I am going to have to do it in stages. Normally I would have 2 baking sheets full of these things. So most likely I'm going to have to do this twice. Now, chicken cutlets in the oven take about half an hour, 15 minutes each side. So I'm pretty confident that it's going to be pretty similar for this. Alright, let me just wash my hands. Because I don't want to leave breadcrumbs everywhere. It's not like I'm... Now also, so this end of it, this end of the skillet pan doesn't get as warm, but it should be okay. We should be alright on this. Alright, so I'm going to put both burners on. I'm going to put them onto medium. Yeah, medium is like my best friend with cooking on the stovetop. Alright, so. Okay, so I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. I'm going to let that go for that amount of time. I'm going to check them and see if they need to be flipped. So stay tuned, and when I come back, we'll be flipping chicken cutlets. Alright, so stay tuned. Okay, so the chicken is actually cooking quicker than I expected it to. So it's before 15 minutes, but I'm going to start flipping them now. Alright, let me turn this down. Yeah, and I'm also going to turn off the potatoes because see, look at that. Yeah, these are cooking up a little quicker than I thought they would. So yeah, I'm gonna have to set it for 10 minutes from now on. Actually, probably 5. All right, so let me set the timer now. Okay, so got that, and whoop, yeah, potatoes are pretty much done. All right, so I'm going to be basically I'm going to be getting ready to do the Parmesan on the chicken cutlets. So I'm going to have it cooking for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to do it very quickly to and you're going to see what I do as far as like with the cheese and all that. So got that, and then I'm going to also eventually, you know, after that I'm going to take the potatoes out, and I'm going to be cooking up some peppers. I'm going to use the same skillet pan. I've already got the oil. I'm going to see if it needs any more. I'm just going to cook it right in the same thing. All right. So anyway, stay tuned, and I will be right back. Okay. So pretty much they're done cooking now. One thing I didn't take into account is that when I get my chicken cutlets, I get from my butcher are usually very, very thin. So yeah, they're going to cook up fast. So if you have thicker chicken cutlets, you'll need more time. But you know, for right now, here we go. So now what I usually do is I put a slice of cheese on. I put the cheese on first. Okay, some of them I may have to cut down a bit because some of these pieces are pretty thin. And then after that, I put on the sauce. The reason why I do this is because I pretty much figured out that when I put the cheese on first and then I put the sauce on over it, the cheese doesn't spread over uncontrollably. Alright, so so before I do the next batch, I am going to have to clean it. Alright. Set the timer again for 5 minutes. Take this back up to medium. I turned it to low for now. All right, so I'm going to take 5 minutes, let that cheese melt. I'm also going to get out a baking tray to put these on, just to put them on the table, and so then I'll start on the next batch. So stay tuned. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to show you these wonderful chicken cutlets. So here we go. So as you can see, the cheese has stayed on each and every piece, which is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want it to be spreading all over the place. Yep. So now when I take these off, the dang thing would stop spinning on me. There, see? Now I know some of the pieces of cheese are a bit thick, and I should have cut them thinner. I do realize that. But yeah, so there you go. All right. Now also I had taken out the potatoes. As what we got. Oops, sorry. So yeah, a little bit overdone, but still, it's still good. All right, so right now I have peppers cooking in the skillet pan, and I'm going to be giving this skillet a quick cleaning, and then I'm going to put in going to do the next batch of chicken cutlets. All right, so stay tuned. I will be back. Okay, I'm back, and well, my peppers are done. Okay, and I got the chicken cutlets. Here we go. These, I mean, because of the way the cuts were, these are a little bit bigger than the other ones. It's still the same thickness though. So I got the timer set for 10 minutes for this side, and then I'll flip them over, and at that point I'll see if they need another 10 minutes or if it just needs 5. And then, oops, sorry. And then of course the magic of the cheese and sauce. So anyway. So I'm gonna come back in a bit, once all that is close to being done or actually done. So stay tuned, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back, and it turns out I actually only needed 5 minutes. Let me bring it down here. So, much to my surprise, when I took a peek underneath, these are cooking up pretty quickly. See? Just because you have to use the stovetop doesn't mean that you're kind of screwed. So I'm going to let that cook. Actually, let me set the timer for 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to let that go for another 5 minutes. Come back. I'll do the I'll do the cheese and the sauce, and that's pretty much the last of what I got to do, because potatoes are done. They're already on the table. Peppers are done. They're already on the table. And it's just waiting on the rest of the chicken cutlets. All right, so stay tuned. I will be back. Okay, I'm back, and well, they're done. Well, still got to do the cheese and sauce. So let's get to that. All right, so that one I need to cut. I need to get these a bit thin. Actually, that works out right. That works out right for that. That works out good for that. Works out pretty good for that, but let's add a little bit there. Okay. Now, for the sauce, oops, a little bit too much there. I'm going to let this cook for a bit. Should take about 5 minutes for the cheese to settle in. Set the timer. Alright. Of course, I'm not going to let it just watch it for 5 minutes. I'm going to take a brief moment here. Whoops, sorry. There we go. I'm going to take a brief moment here, and I'm going to let that cheese melt in. And when I come back, I'll show you the finished product. Alright, so stay tuned. Oh, whoops, sorry. Okay, so turns out I didn't need the full 5 minutes, but it's okay. All right, so here they are. I'm going to put them on, like I said, put them on a baking tray so I can bring them to the table. Little bits right there. Sometimes my daughter likes to go for that kind of stuff. All right. So, essentially, whatever timing you normally use when you cook this in the oven, well, that's going to be tossed out the window if you need to do it on the stovetop, or if you want to do it on the stovetop. So yeah, so here we go. Oh, here we go. Looks pretty good. Looks very nice, and I'm guaranteeing you it's going to taste good. I'm going to taste it in a few minutes. All right, so stay tuned, and I'll meet you at the table. Hey, here I am at the table, getting ready to eat some good stuff here. So I'll just tilt you down. All right. So, piece of potato. Very tender, very good. I have another one. It's a pepper. It's pretty soft, a little bit still on the, excuse me, a little bit still on the firm side, but that's good. Now, a moment we've all been waiting for. Cooked all the way through, as you can see. Oh my God. Yes. So, question 1. Can you make chicken cutlets on the stovetop? Answer, yes. Question 2. Can you make chicken cutlet parmesan on the stovetop? Answer, also yes. Yes, absolutely. So, if you're ever in a predicament like I'm in right now, where your oven isn't working properly and isn't cooking things, or isn't even heating up at times, yes, you can adapt and you can bring it to the stovetop. Okay? So, thank you for watching. I hope this was informative. If you're ever in this type of situation, please like, subscribe, and share. I'm up to 81 subscribers. I'd like to make it to 100, and when I get to 100, I'm gonna put together a special type of video that I've never done before, but I'm gonna keep it a surprise. All right. So anyway, also please go to Tabletop Jones Productions and do the same. Like, subscribe, and share. Over there, we're up to 32 subscribers, and we'd like to make it to 50 so we can live stream games. We don't know how to yet, but we want to learn. And we're just trying to reach out to as many people as we can and hopefully entertain. All right. So anyway, again, thank you for watching. You take care of yourselves. Have a great day, and I'll see you again. And if you're making this, enjoy.